This podcast is brought to you by our Anime Addicts Anonymous community. If you want to support the podcast, this is a great time to do so, as we may have to buy a dedicated server to host all the episodes that we've done for you guys over the last 15 years because of a hacking incident with our old host. So it's a great time to help out the show, and if you want to do so, AAAPodcast.com/join or Patreon is where you go. You're going to get all of our exclusive content, free access to our Discord server, and so much more. So again, if you want to help out the show, it's AAAPodcast.com/join or Patreon. And now it's time to start the podcast.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAAPodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome back to another episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. This is episode 751. Our sole mission is to still make your anime addiction worse, where we broadcast live Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv and also on YouTube, so come check us out. I am your host, Mitsugi, and I am joined by such a great crew. First off, we have to my right, the queen of sass, she of maple syrup, she of blueberry compote, and never using fake butter. It is Pancake.
What up? I'm so happy to be here, but can't forget my lovely wife, Lady Emery. She in the house too.
Yo.
Hello.
In his house.
I sure am.
So guys,
thank you.
We have such a big episode planned for you. Whether or not people know it, did you guys know that there's an election next week?
Oh, I would have never guessed with all of the political texts I'm getting.
I can't believe it.
Constant.
I have gotten so many texts from everybody, and they're getting very sneaky about it too.
Yeah.
They'll say shit like, I'll be like, oh, I should click that. It's like the worst possible thing is about to happen. And then you click it, and it's like, this person will win office unless you donate $50. I'm like, what? You tricked me. Like, I didn't want to click your stupid link. Anyway, so we're going to be doing anime presidential debates later on in the show. So that will be an exciting affair. Whether or not we can pull it off is another issue altogether. So look forward to that, because whether you like it or not, it is election season. And then we have fall impressions. We're going to be scrambling through a whole nother list of anime from the fall. We've got Negative Positive Angler, for those of you that like fishing. For those of you that love the 80s, it's Rom the One Half.
Boy, girls, Rom the One Half.
For those of you that really love Dragon Ball GT, it's Dragon Ball Daima, where they are also children. So
if your name is Dan, we've got Don to Don.
And you would give me your banana organs. In Don to Don. And then I don't know what to say about these last two.
If you like your sister or little girls.
The 34th and 35th damsel/villainous animes I have been subjected to as a almost 40-year-old man. The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor, which is just the most light novel fucking title of all time, I gotta say. And then, yes, I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down. Who goes down where? Is there more
in
of that
history,
title?
Yeah.
I was like, are we going down like down, like down? You know.
No.
Where's my drop? Where's my fucking? I have
Because
a drop.
we're not going to put up with it. You need the drops help.
I have so many fucking drops on this soundboard. I can't ever find them when I need them. Where's the sausage drop? Oh my gosh. Oh well.
Well, I'm going to apologize for those last two. No spoilers about how we all felt about that, but
She's
oh man.
going down.
You never
on the
know.
sausage.
Maybe we're just like really into it.
Yeah.
That, or we just really want to make my dear husband watch them.
No, please. Come on.
Because it is 2 against 1 today.
Listen, if you guys talk about this too much, the Discord will probably pick them. just to make me watch them later. So, all right. Well, without further ado, are you guys? Do you feel satisfied? Are you ready to get the show started?
I'm
I
satisfied.
am.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
All right. Well, I wanted to talk about this last week, but I wasn't really officially on last week's podcast. I just kind of had nothing better to do, so I thought I would help run the machines. There's a lot of machines in here, and many of them are very old, but they still work. So the Japanese, this is a lot, so if you please interject, because I'm just going to go through this point by point.
Yeah, this is why I didn't put any news.
The Japanese government is reportedly facing serious concerns of media boycotts after a recent United Nations report highlighted labor exploitation concerns within the Japanese anime studios.
So, hold on.
Yes, indeed.
So the UN is upset about exploitation in the anime industry.
Yep.
But they're not mad about Shein or any of the fast fashion.
Maybe they are mad.
You nailed it. I was also thinking of fast fashion and all of.
I love Shein. Come on, a blouse for $250. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, I understand. I'm not saying that the people in the anime industry are being paid well, or that it's okay. But I feel like the gross amount of labor and exploitation in the fast fashion industry is so much worse. And that should be something.
But we're not talking about fashion.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, the UN is mad about the labor exploitation concern in Japanese animation studios, but we have little kids in sweatshops making $1 a day. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up. All right. So in July 2024, yes, which is not that recent, the United Nations Human Rights Council visited Japan to give rise to deeply troubling issues within media and entertainment, especially in the idol and animation sector. They cite excessive working hours, which we already knew about, severe labor shortages, which we think we knew about, lack of any legal protection for contract workers who account for roughly 30% of the industry's talent, and the United Nations Council stated that, quote, it is imperative that businesses in this sector, including animation production committees, address these issues and exercise, quote, leverage to enhance decent work for animators and prevent the potential collapse of this industry. Do you guys know what leverage means?
Yes.
Yes?
Financial leverage?
I don't know in like a business sense. I know what leverage is.
Well, I think what they're saying. I think what they're saying is they want them to, if they have to, take out loans to borrow money in order to be able to provide those things for the people, even if it requires them to like have loans that they're paying interest on.
So is this just?
Like, I didn't mean to insinuate that you're stupid. Like the word leverage, and then
I know
how it's applied
no.
in different areas.
So what I'm hearing you say is
they want these companies to be beholden to banks, is what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, it could be anybody.
Or investors to tell them
us.
how to make the anime, which I would also have a problem with.
Well, so this prompts everyone to ask about what the hell is an animation production committee. And I think we hear this a lot, but then people don't. I don't think everybody really knows what a production committee is. And honestly, I actually learned some things from this article too. So I don't presume.
Learn me some stuff.
I'm definitely not going to presume that all the listeners know. And I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit in this discussion because I don't fully agree with everything the United Nations says. So animation production committees are a collection of investors, typically large media or production or merchandise companies, that essentially pay to have an anime made.
See,
okay.
I have a problem with that.
Like,
I
why?
feel like that would take away creativity and take away... because anime is a Japanese thing. So if they are outside of Japan, I don't want them to have any part of it.
but isn't this already happening? I'm thinking about like the toy companies. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think of like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, where it's like sure they're anime that's like made for the toys, but it just feels like this already exists today.
But wait a second. So Pancake, it's the companies aren't necessarily outside of Japan.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not like Saudi Arabia. They probably are in
Well, I
some
was just
capacity.
saying, like, if it's the United Nations coming in and wanting, outside companies investing, and then these outside companies are telling Japan how to make anime, I don't like that. If it's a Japanese company that's investing into Japanese production, I would be fine with that.
Even if they essentially soak up all of the profits and don't give the studios enough money to properly pay people.
Isn't that what they're trying to do?
Isn't that what they're trying to do?
That's what's
Isn't that
happening.
going to offset those costs?
That's what's happening. So what happens is the production committees pay for all this anime to be made, and then the majority of the profits from the anime that we watch actually goes to these companies that gave the money. And because the studios own approximately none of the rights to any of this stuff, they're more or less little more than just laborers that are drawing pictures, and they're not actually creating anything a lot of the time. They're literally being given it'd be like Disney saying, "Hi, random company that just has lots of people that can draw. Here's Mickey Mouse. Make me a Mickey Mouse TV show." And then all they get is a wage, essentially, because really Disney owns all the IP, so they get all the money, essentially. And they're providing the money. So all you're providing is your time in a lot of cases. Does
So
that make
this
sense?
exists today,
That's what's happening.
and what the UN is saying is to like clean it up. Like
They're
you need to redistribute.
I think they're pissed because the production committees are taking so much of the money that they leave the anime studios stripped down to like the point where they can barely pay people.
Well, then they need to have better contracts or have some stops in contract.
So
Like that just sounds
yeah.
like the animation studios need to grow some balls and have better lawyers and better contracts drawn out with these committees.
I think it's tough, I mean, I agree with you, and I think you'd have a lot better anime if they did that, because there really aren't enough people to make anime, because who the fuck wants to work in an industry where you're literally beaten down like a dog while you work?
Right.
But it's almost like they do with labor unions here in the States or whatever, right? And they probably have them in Japan too. But it's like, who is going to be the studio that rises up against Bandai and says, "Fuck you, I'm not going to make your Gundam show"? Who is that? That's just an example. I think Gundam, Bandai probably makes their own Gundam shit. But I mean, you'd have to have serious balls to be like, "Fuck you, I'm not going to make your anime," because then there's like another studio down the street that could do it.
Well, then the anime studios need to work together. That's what that sounds like to me.
So that's what a labor union is. They're like, "Oh well, fuck you, we're all going to quit." Basically, is what happens.
Yeah, the anime studios need to have some balls and push back against these committees or whatever.
So there's actually a savior in all this, and it's kind of funny. Also, the anime industry is now worth $20 billion, which is
That's insane.
a lot. And and even still, they can't really get a reasonable amount of money from the stuff they make, right? And we're going to talk about this later, but there are some studios that have some money, right? Like Ghibli and some of the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and this is just a theory of mine, but you'll note that some studios make original shows.
And they're not very good.
Well, usually they're not, but sometimes they are. They make original shows, and I think that is an attempt of a studio to create their own IP. Think about how much money Studio Gainax made from Evangelion.
Yeah.
They mismanaged it and went bankrupt. But that was an original anime, so they were like, okay, we're gonna step out on a limb here, maybe fund ourselves, and put out Evangelion, because when it becomes massive, we're gonna make a fuck ton of money because we own everything. You know what I'm saying?
So that just tells me that you need to get some good story writers then, and not just be pushing the people that animated one thing one time coming up with their own stories.
And get more, and be okay with more original. I will die on the hill that Yuri on Ice needed that movie, man. Like,
Yes.
why didn't you give me that movie? Like, when you have a good original that has a strong fan base that you can sell toys, push stickers, all of your products, don't just keep pushing it off for the next season. I would argue, like, say Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Exactly.
I understand those hold importance, but like also hold some importance for your original shows that you developed a fan base for, and don't just keep putting them on hiatus.
Well, and they don't even have to like be completely original. I mean, look at Studio Ghibli. A lot of what Miyazaki makes is based off of a book.
True.
Like, I'm pretty sure Boy and the Heron was a book. Howl's Moving Castle was a book. Find some great novels and adapt those. Stop going to these light novels that fucking suck.
Well, so there's a savior in all this. So and I actually think this is a bunch of hot air. I don't think it's going to amount to anything.
Probably not.
But some big companies, bigger companies than these production committees, are threatening to boycott anime because of what the United Nations has discovered, according to the United Nations. So, namely, Netflix and Amazon Prime are sort of threatening to... The United Nations is saying that there's a potential that these companies could help solve this problem by threatening to boycott the anime in general, which would force the production committees to give the studios more money. So Netflix kind of can save anime in a weird way, because I hate to tell everybody, but AI is coming. And pretty soon, they'll be making... The production committees won't even need a studio. They'll just, like, go to some nerd's basement that has, like, an AI and be like, make this whole fucking anime for me. It's probably within 10 years. And then they'll just make the whole thing, and then they won't even need a studio full of people. And then that's just a whole other problem. But because according to this, a major piece of revenue when exporting is exportation of anime overseas. So, and it would be a significant stressor to Japan's financial to their economy if anime was to be pulled out of foreign markets. And Japan's economy already is in the toilet because their population is collapsing. So it's possible that these companies could help fix this issue. So any comments?
I don't really love that it's per se Netflix and Amazon impressing on the anime production. I feel like, I don't know, it just feels a little icky, but I understand at the same time. I just feel like this is a large issue and it's pretty tricky just all around, because we want people treated properly in their industry and paid properly, but also we don't want things to become part of the massive corporation blob that we continue to hurtle towards.
You know what else is funny? Japan does have a formal response to the UN report, and they stated that, quote, some matters appear to be factually incorrect or one-sided assertions. So they're basically like I don't know. They're not acknowledging that it's a problem. Yeah. So
that's super frustrating. My comment to this is, maybe we will have a crime happen with Meppa, and I will win my bets with Pancake.
What was that bet again?
Yes. What was that bet? It was like
someone has to show their feet.
No.
That
ours
is
dead.
Adorable. Ours is we get to exchange manga.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute.
Well, there it is.
Girls are so cute. They're so different than men. Men are like, show me your dick on camera. Women are like, oh, I have this lovely book I want to share with you. I love you, and I want to share it with you.
Unless it's me, then I send you fucked up shit in the mail.
And I still go, wow, I want to keep reading this.
At least I sent cute corgi stickers with it.
You did.
So I also want to just mention this one other article because I didn't put it in the news break, and then we'll get to Lady Emery. But there is supposedly a live-action Gundam movie being made by Hollywood. So entertainment news website Deadline reported on Thursday that Jim Mickle, who did Sweet Tooth, I didn't watch that, is directing and is writing and directing Sunrise and Legendary Pictures' live-action Gundam movie. So that's how you know it's Hollywood. Legendary Pictures, big studio. So he's producing the film with all these other fucking people. It's going to be coming out early 2025, it says. So they've got people from like Kong involved and a whole bunch of other action movies and stuff like that. And I just think it seems cool and very appropriate. That I mean, they had the Pacific Rim movies, and those were a hit.
As long as they don't get the Transformers treatment, it could be good.
Oh my god! But that would be so great, though. What do you mean?
I feel like the Transformer movies kind of fell off.
Oh, but they made billions. They made billions. Oh my god! The Transformers movies made like $20 billion. I mean, it would be massive.
But I just want to enjoy watching it. I don't want it to be just big robots go boom.
But you'd get 20 movies.
But I want the movies to be good.
I'd rather watch one Pacific Rim versus a bunch of Transformers.
Okay.
Yep.
And, Pacific Rim is a lot of robots go boom, punching monsters, rah, 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 but like, good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
none of this fucking robots could take Godzilla. He would just raise them all. Anyway, so it's just cool. I wish Andrew was here to talk about it. He probably knows. But this is kind of exciting if that's really what this is, but it does seem like it. So
I'll watch it.
I would watch it.
What else we got?
Oh, for my news story, the Vatican is unveiling its anime mascot, and
oh my gosh!
When somebody posted this in the Discord, I was like, this has to be a lie. Like, what is this? But no, it's due to the Holy Year Jubilee. The Vatican has decided to partner with an Italian artist, and apologies for name mispronunciations. I'm going to try my best, but Simone Lagona. I had to like add
like an Italian accent.
I did. I had
Simone
to.
Lagona. It's me. It's a me.
But it's
That's all I have on the soundboard. That's Italian, supposedly.
that fits. The artist is best known for co-creating. It's called Tokidoki, which is a Japanese-inspired art and lifestyle brand. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to reveal, I think it's Lucy, Luce, so I say Lucy. And this is a girl from when I did my research, I believe, and they have a reason for everything. Her muddy, like, boots are to show her path. She's got, like, a certain staff that's supposed to be biblical in nature. She has friends, like a dove, and yeah, it's a choice.
Are they going to have merch at the Vatican now of this?
I kind of wonder. Well, the Holy See, which is, for those who don't know, their Catholicism, the central governing body of the Catholic Church in the Vatican City-State, they're going to be exhibiting at the 2025 World Expo in Osaka. So I think that
this is so random.
Yeah.
I just want to point out how far religion has come, because last time I remembered that any kind of religion having input on anime was Pokemon is the devil.
Oh yeah,
and you will burn in hell with Charmander and his flame.
We had a
and now it's like, look at my moe uwu.
We had a neighbor actually, and they were super Christian, like Baptists growing up. And they knew me and my little brother were really into Pokemon. They came to our parents and said, your children are Satan worshiping, and they don't even know it.
No, shut up, they didn't.
Yeah, they did, and they told my parents. My parents are crazy anyway, so they were like all against Pokemon for no reason. And they're not even religious, so it was like, what the fuck?
That's amazing.
So this is a lot better.
It sure is something. And Rainbow Warrior says that, yes, there is a gift shop at the Vatican, so I guarantee you this is going to be available.
I think I need to get some merch. Some church merch.
Get some Lucy and her fabulous friends.
Is it Lucy or Luce?
Good question. I can do further research. I just assumed Lucy, but it might be loose. But it means light, so of course there's got to be symbolism in there.
Is it?
Maybe she'll get her own anime.
That's what I'm hoping.
Funded by the Vatican.
Fuck your production committee. We have Jesus cash. you think it's possible that the church is hurting for money and they're like, we have to branch out and have merchandise, or are they trying to? Oh, you know what it is. You know what it is. I don't intend to get into like a religious conversation, but if you look up the statistics, religion is actually really hurting right now, particularly in like the U.S. It's definitely on the decline. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just making stating a fact. I think that it's been dropping every year, the percentages, especially with young people. And I wonder if this is an attempt by, the Vatican or, Catholicism or whatever to try to like reach younger people and try to like, I don't know, have a presence. I don't know what, you know what I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gotta be
they're trying to get engagement in this market. No,
it's gotta be it.
It sounds like it.
It's not going to work.
I'll try. Luce.
Yeah, chat says Luce. It's not going to work though, because when you have characters like Kudomi, who's a fucking devil cat or whatever, and My Melody and Cinema Roll and all this, like you can't compete. You can't compete with Hello Kitty. And then there's a bajillion anime characters. Like, it's a good try. You have the right idea, but you will be swallowed by an endless tidal wave of choices when it comes to
So
this
you're
shit.
telling me that the Vatican should have just went straight to Sanrio and asked for their own character in the lineup?
Yes.
Maybe. Because let's be honest.
The Vatican could fund a production committee.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask for
Yeah.
an anime to be made.
Yeah, because Sanrio's a Japanese company. They don't really practice Catholicism in Japan, like at all. So,
Yeah, I think we saw one church.
Christianity's like maybe 3%. It's pretty low. I
heard
haven't
that.
looked up the number, but yeah, it's pretty low. That was interesting.
It was
I
interesting.
hope it works out. I mean, I hate to see things fail all the time. Okay. Anything else?
All right.
I don't
No,
have
that was
anything
it.
else.
That was my news story.
All right, so let me just lay out an outline for this main topic, and then we'll launch into it. I want to make sure we're ready for this. So we are going to give our campaign platforms, and then we have debate topics. And I hope it flows very much like a presidential debate, probably with a lot less just shit talk. Because let's be honest, that's all they do. But without further ado, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not ready. Anime can be defined as simply animation. Greatness personified. But it is so much more. From the sprawling forests of Totoro to the high city walls of Attack on Titan, anime has touched so many lives. That is why we thank you all for tuning in tonight. So much is at stake as we debate anime's future. To bring you this and so much more, it's Anime Satan.
Ah, yes. Welcome to the 2024 Anime Presidential Debates, live on Anime Satan TV. You know, when it was decided that this debate was going to happen, I thought to myself, man, politics really is hell. And so when they asked me to host, I was just blown away by how on the horns that was. I had to do it really to lock in the fact that we are truly doomed. Today, we're going to touch on a number of topics that you probably don't really care about, including fan service, piracy in anime, original versus source-based anime, old versus new animation, shorter anime for those shorter attention spans. You know, people today, they can't really focus. They're very much like Moe girls, you know, these days. And of course, censorship, which of course is just a disaster for Anime Hell's TV ratings. I am never going to get my own TV show. The flames in hell just do not agree with clothing. It just burns right off. I mean, I myself, I'm not wearing pants. It's just a disaster. And, of course, now it's time to introduce our anime presidential candidates. First, we have the shonen-loving pit boss, Lady Emery.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today at this debate. I am Lady Emery. I am representing the perfectly balanced, as all anime should be, or the Thanos party. And I am here to talk about
Gambling is great and all, but did you ever consider being the boss for another pit? The anime pit of hell, maybe? Security is pretty lax. The Pope can't afford
it. I think I might need to I might need to review my contract as pit boss. Maybe the pit boss of hell. That's got a nice ring to it. I like it.
Oh yeah, I agree. And finally, the very bald Pope Mitsuki.
Yes, I am the Pope, and this is my 15th time running for this election, as I am 400 years old and have been doing this podcast for entirely too long, but I am very happy to be here.
He kicks the moe into the pit of hell and all, and I love it so much. Hey Pope, when you gonna come visit Anime Hell? I still got English muffins and peach jelly. And of course, the Pancake Queen herself, it's Pancake.
Hello. Thank you for having me here on this debate as your only independent candidate trying to bring back balance and end Pope Mitsuki's dictatorship rule.
That ass is no Pancake. Hey girl, how about I make you the queen of Anime Hell and you can sit on Daddy Satan's lap?
I'll think about it, depending on how this debate goes.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you!
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you!
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you harder!
Now, before we get into the debate, we're going to hear a brief 60-second overview of each candidate's campaign platforms. Age before beauty, the Pope is first.
Of course.
I don't really care who goes after that, I just wanted to make fun of the Pope.
Thank you very much. So today we will be representing Make Anime Great Again, or MAGA as they say. So we are going to we have some very important pillars in our platform. First, censorship. We will remove all censorship. No more blurs on boobs. No more blood being recolored. And in fact, we are going to be placing anime tariffs on any anime that is imported from outside the country that don't include just jiggle physics. Very important. Very important. Camera angles will not neglect the most chiseled muscles of men, nor the curviest curves of women, because we love the men. We love the men too, and the women. We love them. I love them all. And free the nipple. Never again will characters like Ramna walk around with no nipples. Also, we're going to bring back the humanity in anime, so we're bringing back cells. No more of this bullshit CGI, and that'll fix the AI problem too, because now you'll have to be doing anime by hand, so you won't have to worry about that. And also, more condensed anime. Not everything needs to have 4 seasons. Back when I was only 55 years old in the 90s, I remember when anime mostly only got 1 season, and they got their story told in 1 season. There was never the reincarnated as a slime, core 3, season 5. Like, none of this bullshit. Get the story fucking told and be done with it. Now, one of you go.
Okay. My platform is the independent anime platform, where we promise to release all of those in the anime pit of hell that have wrongfully been kicked there by Mitsugi, make Moe okay again. I promise to bring a second season to our shoujo anime and not leave us high and fucking dry anymore. I will also return isekai to its former glory, to not just have a black-haired, overpowered protagonist, but have good, intriguing stories, and maybe, just maybe, have a cute boy with anime animal ears. Those are my promises to you, listener. Lady Emery.
Tear. I have a tear.
As your candidate for the perfectly balanced, as all anime should be, Thanos party, I am looking at censorship as well. We will, of course, allow censorship, but we need parameters. You can't have your children looking at some of this. You can't have your grandmother looking at some of this. There will be balance brought to this. There will be availability, and there will be rules and regulations. We will have author friendships where authors have the ability for their anime to rewrite some things. But at the same time, if those authors do not finish their manga, if they do not finish their anime, straight to jail. Straight to the pit of anime hell. Straight there. And also, this is a one-way street. If you have an original anime, wonderful. We want that to flourish. You don't get to go back and do the manga. You don't. You only step forward. Further anime, further movies, you aren't going to go and get a manga. Sorry. These are our platforms. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Sounds like overregulated to me.
Sounds like you don't want people to have nipples. That's truly sad.
I am perfectly fine with the nipples, but we must protect the children.
And now it's time to get into our debate topics. We're going to start with the stance on piracy. Okay, wait here. Let Satan put his glasses on. Analytics firm Muso noted in 2023, 8 out of 10 of the most pirated TV shows were in fact anime. No surprise there. It also found half of pirated publishing content was manga, with the USA being the largest user of these pirating sites. The totals across all countries were 229.4 billion piracy visits, with the TV and publishing content comprising a significant portion, with 104 billion and 64 billion visits respectively. What is your take on anime piracy? The Lady Emery, you are up first.
All right. This is a hard topic, but you know what? As we have to be perfectly balanced, and as the Thanos, we will take 50% of these users straight to anime hell, straight to jail, and the other 50, they can just keep going and
I
do
agree.
their own thing. Yeah. So it increases the population of anime hell. It sets in some, consequences for people, but some people get to get away with it. And that's okay. Perfectly balanced as all things are.
I think, but you're diluting the blood. You're poisoning. You're putting all this like random people that where the moe is supposed to be. What's the deal with that? There's not enough room for all the moe and all.
Sounds like she's trying to take your pit of hell.
Yeah. Now I have pirates down there.
No one asked you, Pancake. Go find some butter. What the fuck?
Well, since everybody asked, my take
We
on
will
it.
start with Pancake.
Oh.
Yeah.
She of Pancakes, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Well, I believe that piracy would go down if we could offer American users a service, much like Crunchyroll and Netflix, to read manga as it comes out, so we wouldn't have to pirate it to get the freaking chapters when they come out in Japan from translators online. So I think that would cut down on the amount of pirates, as well as bringing more manga to the States in a easily digestible fashion, because it's fucking hard to find manga.
Pope, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I think if they would just consolidate these anime services a little bit, people could actually afford to watch the anime, and then they wouldn't have to go steal it. But I think it's ironic that we have Anime Satan reading off stats about 229 billion piracy views when he makes up about half of that, at least. So, I mean, that's fucking ridiculous.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you. Okay, honestly. I don't see how that is, I don't know, it's pot calling kettle, but yeah. I think we just need to get Sony to buy up all the rest of these services so that we don't have to pay for Disney Plus, Hulu, fucking High Dive. God, High Dive of all fucking places. Then there's a number of others as well. Nobody can afford food, let alone $40 to $50 for anime services. So then, yeah, I'll go pirate shit if I have to.
Pope, I think this is an irrelevant talking point for you, because the most pirated content were those mangas, not the shows themselves.
Correct. I agree. And also I am pro pirates. I feel like I do need to make that known. It's just
only 50% of
love
them.
One Piece.
I only want 50% of them here, and then 50% for Anime Satan.
Well, how do you decide who goes to hell and who doesn't?
with the snap of my fingers, with a coin flip.
What do you think you are?
I think I am.
You think you're
Anime
Anime
Thanos.
Satan?
I am Anime Thanos. I am the pit boss. I think of maybe Anime Hell. Yeah.
I think we should just fund a service to read manga online. That is my platform here. I have no further comment on this.
You know, the statistics on the that we have here actually say that the TV and publishing content, it comprises 104 and 64 billion visits. So there's more people pirating TV. That's what it says right there. Can't you read? I can't read. I'm from West Virginia, so I don't even know how I just pulled that off, to be honest with you. But I mean,
half of the printed publishing content was manga.
Okay. And the publishing content comprised 64 billion visits.
Yeah.
So the anime is relevant. This is an anime podcast. Whose side are you on?
Not yours. I'm trying to get this dictator out of office.
Pit Boss, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Well, I suppose I may struggle to read, but I guess that's because I've been needing to pirate things and to rely on translators. Surprise! I am one of the pirators!
I would just like...
Oh, no!
What I would like is for anime companies like High Dive or Crunchyroll to put out the dubs right away. That's not really much
So then
to do
you
with
don't have to read?
Yeah, because I can't read. So I think it's discriminatory. I can't fucking read. So
the dubs are the reason that the dubs are the reason that the anime shows are being pirated? How is this a relevant topic?
Look, I once grew up in West Virginia. And in West Virginia, as many do, we don't know how to read. Okay? And so the dubs would really help me and people like me out. And I don't appreciate you minimalizing the impact the dubs would have on the lives of me and so many other Americans. Thank you.
And finally, I think this is our last topic, and thank God, because anime...
Or not.
And okay, let's see here. Now we're going to get into anime originals versus source-based material. Original anime mean there is no existing manga, light novel, or pre-existing materials to base the story off of. For example, shows like Cowboy Bebop and Neon Genesis Evangelion did not have source material on which the anime was based. However, of course, there are plenty of others on which there is a manga or some such shit for you to base your story off of. What is your stance on whether anime originals or source-based anime are better? We will start with Pancake.
I believe that there's room for both, and we need to get better writers in anime to write these original stories as opposed to having animators or directors making up these stories. I think there's room for both in the anime industry.
I like how you straddled the line there. You didn't really answer the question.
I did answer the question.
You said both.
Yeah.
The answer was one or the other.
I think there's room for both. I don't think you can get rid of them completely. I think that would go against everything that anime stands for. I think there's the right place to adapt a good manga or a good story, but also we should have originals, but have good writers put into place.
Listen, I have a question. How, if you can't even sit here in front of this bald man and the pit boss and Satan and some random fucking moe and answer a goddamn question, how are you supposed to be anime president?
Because anime deserves an independent voice to straddle the line and push new norms.
Oh my gosh.
Pit Boss, you have 30 seconds to respond.
All right, well, I have a similar view to Pancake. However, mine is what we have reiterated, a one-way street. Original animes, they're welcome in the Thanos party, but we will not allow for originals to develop a manga. You only get to go up. You start with a manga or a light novel or a novel. You go to an anime, you go to a movie. You don't get to ratchet down. That is just not how the laws of anime work. And so you are allowed to have an original anime, but you do not get a manga thereafter.
Yeah, but I mean, none of your stuff will have nipples, so nobody will want to watch it anyway.
Not
They
everything
can
is
have
about nipples.
They can have nipples. There just may be parameters in place for the little girls and boys who are opening up these books, or in this case, watching their shows, for parents to step in.
Look, little kids have nipples, okay? I have nipples.
Can you milk me, Greg?
I could show you my nipples. I think they can handle seeing some fucking nipples. All right.
Some parents would argue differently.
Hope
Some
you
parents
have 30
would
seconds
think
to
Pokemon
respond.
are satanic.
Thank you, Anime Satan. I think that even though the original anime would help the studios to make some of their own money, they have routinely proven that they are incapable of doing original content because it is almost always bad. So
It is not.
it's my turn to talk. Excuse me.
This is why we need to promote and get good writers for these original animes.
Hey, excuse me. It was my 30 seconds.
I don't give a fuck.
We need more anime based after curated, proven, successful content that won't waste anybody's fucking time. And then I don't have to come on this podcast and do another fucking villainous show because it was based on some trash light novel that no one cared about. Or EMC Squared comes in and does another show like that fucking Train to the End of the World shit where they tried to do something fancy and then they ended up not being smart enough to execute it. It's too painful.
She of Pancakes, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Like I said, we need to promote and get good writers for these original animes. There is room in the anime community for good writing.
I just fucking said that. You want to try to what are we going to do? We just going to like fabricate some magical pixie dust that's going to like invent someone that can write original anime? They're all writing manga because if they had any fucking talent,
but there are
they'd be doing
people
it
that can't draw. We need the people that can't draw.
Oh, so now it's about the people that have no hands.
Yes.
This
we
is
need
fucked.
we need people that don't have hands writing anime. Go to these studios. Share your story.
Not only do they have to be good writers, they have to have no hands. I hope your dictation software is working well because it's going to be a little challenging.
Shut the fuck up.
Alright, now that's the topic everybody's waiting for. Fan service, slapping ass, it's my favorite. Is it good or is it bad? Now, when we talk about fan service, we always go to Urban Dictionary. In general, fan service refers to scenes designed to excite or titillate the viewer, and Anime Satan, of course. This can include scantily clad outfits, cleavage shots, panty shots, etc. Some broader definitions also include things that I, Anime Satan, also love, including cool mecha, big explosions, battle scenes, etc. Basically, if it has little plot value but makes Anime Satan sit up and take notice, it's basically fan service. What is your take on fan service? We will start with the Pope.
Yeah, thank you very much. So it is part of my platform. It's very important that we are going to make anime great again, and we're going to do that by putting tons of fan service in everything. In fact, if there's no jiggle physics, we are going to charge a 100% tariff on any foreign anime with no jiggle physics. There will be no censorship. It will be jiggle physics for all. No blur over the boobs. No blur. No white blood. Camera angles, and it's for men and the women because I love them. I love the men. I love the women, but I love the men. And the men, they're chiseled muscles. You know, some say that they are. I mean, think of it. You'll have these anime, and they will have literal chiseled men, the pillar men. They'll be all over the place, chiseled buttocks. It's for the men and the women. You can't forget about them. It's very important. Everybody loves fan service, and yeah, I don't think it's not too easy to argue that. So,
Hit Boss, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I do not disagree with my counterpart. I believe it needs to be 50-50.
You want no nipples.
Problem. I
Free
do not
the
mind
nipple.
the nipples. I do not think the nipple needs to be shown to everyone. I am also saying that we need 50% for the men, 50% for the women. Spread the love out. We need more Nanamis. We need more Inuyasha. Not just cat girls. We will maybe want some
come
wolf
on.
men. Maybe, you know, somebody likes a boob. Somebody likes a butt. You have to spread out the fan service. That is our platform. 50-50.
There's a cat girl in that too. Satan loves a cat girl.
Anime Satan is just on one today.
She of Pancakes, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I don't disagree with my counterparts. I believe there is a time and a place for fan service, and we should keep it in anime because that is one of the pillars of anime. However, we don't need it in
Everybody's
everything.
agreeing with me today. It's so fucking fantastic.
We don't need it in everything. If there is a serious scene, I do not need a panty shot.
Well, you need nipples, though.
Not in a serious scene. There is a time and a place for the nipple. Not all the time. I want to see the nipple. I think it is a crime what they've done to Ranma 1/2. There should be nipple because the source material has the nipple. However, in a serious moment, such as, I don't know, a murder scene, we don't need to see mound and peen and buttocks and, and boob.
You don't want to see the sausages?
No sausage in a serious scene. But if there's a call for it, I'm all for a pair of gray sweatpants and an eggplant outline.
Even Monster doesn't have all serious scenes. We can slip a little nip in there. You can slip a nip.
If the moment is
right. You
right.
can slip a nip. Okay? I just want you to know
I
that.
agree. In the right moment. But I'm tired of these serious talks with just fan service
you have
shots.
30 seconds to respond.
Sorry, I was going a little long. Well, if I want you to remember anything, I want you to remember that the pit boss,
Pope is a dictator.
Hey, fuck you.
Listen, I want you to remember that the pit boss, she's ashamed of you. When you're in the shower and you look at your nips and you're soaping them up and you get them all hard, you look at them and you think, look at my nips. She's ashamed of your nips. She doesn't want you to have nipples. She doesn't want me to have nipples. And men or women, she doesn't want you to see the nipples because she's afraid of the nipple.
I am not afraid of the nipple. That is slanderous talk. I will not have it. I am okay
Now we're going to talk about a boring topic. Old animation versus new animation. Of course, cells are the Japanese term for celluloid pictures. A cell is a transparent material used to make frames of animation in the production of Japanese anime shows. Each cell is one frame. You know, back in the day, animators used to draw one frame at a time and would photograph it and line it up to the product of final animation. Nowadays, it's done using computer-generated imagery or CGI, and also there's lots of 3D animation being done that attempts to mimic the 2D animation. CGI includes both static and dynamic shots. Do you, as candidates for anime president, favor old or new styles of animation? The Lady Emery, you are up first.
As you can imagine, 50-50. I want 50% CGI. I want 50% of Cell. I want the Cowboy Bebop. I want the Neon Genesis Evangelion. These were shows, classic shows with Cell, and this is what I'm after. I want 50-50.
Pope, you have 30 seconds to respond.
You know, for once, I have to agree with the pit boss. I think that taking the cells out of anime means that I don't have anything to collect, and that's very sad. Sometimes you like an anime and you just want to go buy a fucking cell and put it on your wall behind you, like the ones back there, and feel happy that you have a piece of something. And nowadays, you just like so many other things, you don't get to own anything. And also, I really think that the cells would help to stave off AI, honestly. I think it'd be a lot harder to implement it. And anime was once a very human thing. You could see the flaws in it. You could see the brush strokes. It was like a special thing that humans made for other humans. And now it's, I don't know, we're heading further away from that, and I'm not a big fan of it, so.
She of Pancakes, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Sadly, I agree with both of my counterparts.
Oh.
I think there is a time and place for cell animation, but to pump out anime and alleviate the workload, we have to implement some CG and some computer generated images. However, having the cells could help the studios by having a product to sell.
Oh, shit.
Such as the ones behind me.
Sell a cell.
Yeah, sell a cell. So, I think we should combine all of our assets to create anime.
Hit Boss, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I'm loving the love fest. That is my response. I am loving the love in the room.
Circle jerk. Circle jerk.
I'll whip it out. I'll fucking do it.
Circle jerk.
You guys can't jerk.
Circle diddle. Circle diddle.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I have no comment. My counterparts are correct. I think
now
there's
we're going
room
to talk about something
both.
Now we're going to talk about something that's everyone's talking about in anime hell. You know, we got the Moe running around, very distracted all the time. Anime Satan's busy. He's got Moe to kick, people to torture, tea parties. You know, it's important stuff. Shorter anime for shorter attention spans. Research shows that attention spans have roughly changed from around 2.5 minutes to about 45 seconds. Much of this is attributed to multitasking and technological advancements and cell phones and whatnot and lifestyle changes. Do you support the recent trends and conversation about making anime much shorter for people that have shorter attention spans? We will start with Pancake.
I do not think creating shorter anime or episode length is a good idea. I think this will only contribute to shorter and shorter attention spans. Continuing to stimulate and give that quick dopamine release is a bad thing overall. Thank you, Anime Satan.
Hit Boss, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I'm so glad you have asked about this because this is a central point in my campaign. Yes, our attention spans are shortening, as the sign says, but there's no reason why we cannot have longer seasons. It just needs to be a balance. So what we are going to do is the artist or author has to have at least 50%, if not the entirety of their work completed. And if it's only up to the 50% part, and it took them, say, like 3 months to make, they only get 3 months to finish it. No hiatuses. You have to hit the deadline or straight to anime hell. Straight to Anime Satan you go. No
yeah, I agree. Pope, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that everybody agrees that we need to make anime not super short for people with short attention spans, because that's just stupid. And fuck them, by the way. But why don't we need to work a little bit more on telling more of a condensed story, because not everything needs to be drawn out so you can milk it for every penny it's worth. Whatever happened to having, like, look, even Evangelion was only started with one full season. So many anime in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff, they were all 13 episodes, 26 episodes. It was very rare to have like 52 episodes. Now it's like everything. Who the hell has the attention span for that? I can't sit through 43 cores of Attack on Titan. Who has the attention span for that? I don't. I mean, who has the attention span for One Piece? I have no fucking clue. But I think that anime should be tighter, like the Pillar Man's anus, and quicker and more to the point. That's one way to get around people's short attention spans.
You do know that One Piece was released in 1999. It is one of the anime that you are speaking of.
Failing even amongst those that manage to pull it off. Man, perhaps it's leading the way for the downfall of all anime as we know it.
Hit Boss, you have 30 seconds to respond.
You're just gonna let that go?
No, I just I do not think that One Piece is the downfall. I think it could certainly be shortened. We are seeing that in the rework that's being done with it by Studio Wit, or Wit Studios, excuse me. But I do think that One Piece is a great anime. I think that it is worthy of the time, and I think the reward and the payoff that a lot of the fans get later on is what makes it so awesome. Some of the stuff that is coming out is as good as some of the anime movies that are coming out.
She of Pancakes, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I don't disagree with my counterparts here. I believe that we can make a concise show without shortening the episode length, but we need to be selective on what we produce so the story is finished enough for the anime.
Okay. I think that's about it.
Pancake for president.
Well, I, for one, just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I know that this debate probably changed no one's opinion about anything, but it was very interesting to see people lather on and on about things. You know, mostly we just care about censorship, and that's what Anime Satan cares about. So, you know, I'm not being paid enough for this, and I got things to do. So, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching Anime Satan TV, and go to hell.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun.
I did.
We did have an actual host for this, but we did have a somewhat of an emergency to deal with, so we had to pull an audible. So big thanks to Anime Satan for stepping up and pulling that off for us. So, all right, who wants to read the in-show trivia question? We got a news break to get to.
I'll read it. In Ranma 1/2, what can turn Ranma back into his original boy self? We'll tell you right after the news break.
Damn, that's a softball. Hey, Anime Addicts, it's Mitsugi, and yes, I am here to bring you your anime news. Getting us started, we have some new anime. Studio Pierrot and South Korea's Red Dog Culture House are producing a anime titled Latna Saga, Survival of the Sword King, which is a badass as hell title. So it's a big move for Japan's Pierrot Company Limited, which has signed an alliance with that South Korean animation studio Red Dog Culture House. This happened as of August 2024, and it marks the studio's commitment to jointly produce and invest in anime content into the global market, which is a pretty good way to expand your business and to reach a broader audience. This is beginning with that anime collaboration of that popular webtoon, Latna Saga, which, like I said, has an unbelievably badass title. So the production of the adaptation is set to officially begin later this year. You're probably going to get it sometime next year, I have to imagine. So look out if you're fans of webtoons. Latna Saga getting an anime adaptation from Studio Pierrot and Red Dog coming up sometime in the future. Next up, manga Kaya-san wa Kowakunai is getting a TV anime titled Kaya-chan Isn't Scary, which has the most moe girl I've ever seen walking through, like, I don't know, a demonic realm. I'm not sure what's going on with this image, but it looks like this is Taro Yuri's property, the manga, and she began serializing the supernatural manga on the Kurage Bunch website in April 2022. It's about Kaya-san, who's infamous at the kindergarten for being a troublemaker, but the teacher, Miss Chie, who's been assigned to look after her, soon discovers that Kaya has hidden abilities. So get ready for the ultimate horror action anime set in a kindergarten. Good lord, action anime in a kindergarten, that's horror according to anime. We'll have to see when Kaya-chan Isn't Scary comes out. Probably the anime won't be scary either. Next up, we have lost a big art name in the anime industry. Ryo Kono has passed away. She was known for her contributions to numerous big-time anime projects, including Mob Psycho 100. She died on October 23rd of suspected gastrointestinal bleeding, which just, I feel like you don't hear that one too often, but very sad. Her nephew Akira has expressed on Twitter that, quote, each project she worked on was a source of pride for our family, and he thanked the community for their support and added, we deeply appreciate the kindness shown to her during her lifetime. So very, very sad. Hiromi Kono was born in Tokyo, began her career in the anime industry as a background artist for Sayonara, the Galaxy Express 999 movie that came out all the way back in 1981, which is just such a long time. Great accomplishment and great career, and it's sad to see her go. Next up, and lastly in the news today, it looks like there is a new Gundam project coming out, a Gundam Seed Freedom Zero, which is a prequel to a Gundam Seed, I guess, is going to be coming out, and it looks like this one's also going to be done by Studio Sunrise, directed by Mitsuo Fukuda, and lots of other staff from Studio Sunrise. It looks like that they revealed that the screenwriter Chiaki Morosawa and Shigeru Morita wrote the scenario while planning for Gundam Seed Freedom. In addition, it looks like Fukuda stated that the script for this Gundam Seed Freedom was completed 20 years ago, which is so crazy, and the storyboards were nearly half finished, so they already had this pretty much in the bag. I mean, they just had to kind of like finish it up. So if you're a big fan of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, I mean, you're going to be getting more content here for the Freedom property, so look out for that coming out sometime. I don't think they have a date for it, but when we get one, you'll get one. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break, and now, time to get back to the podcast. Well, Anime Addicts, with the hacking that went on with our hosting service recently, we may have to acquire a dedicated server to keep hosting all of the episodes that we've done throughout the years. And of course, that is extremely costly. So probably now more than ever, the podcast does need your financial support. If you want to help the show, help out the podcast, you can go to AAAPodcast.com/join or Patreon. You're not going to leave empty-handed. You're going to get all of our extra content that we work hard to produce for you every single week. But really, a dedicated server is extremely expensive. And to be honest with you, we don't have the money for it. So if you would like to help out the show, AAAPodcast.com/join or Patreon. And with your help, we'll be able to keep making your anime addiction worse. And Ramna one half. Here's your trivia question. What can turn Ramna back into his original boy self? Pancake?
Hot water. Agua. Calor.
Agua. Dangerous! And we'll be talking about Ramna one half here just in a few minutes. But first, I want to give a thank you to a new supporter we have. I believe it came in through our website, Mary F. I'm not giving the last names out, but thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you.
And you're very sexy.
Oh.
Thank you.
Wow, very sexy. Okay. All right. And now, as we do, it's time for mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag. Raggedy Doctor, who's not here.
Who would have guessed the mailbag would be from Raggedy?
And by the way, well, he wrote like 100 of them.
Do you think he's
Literally.
in surgery and he's just like thinking of mailbags?
Just
I think that's exactly what
It's on
happens.
his mind.
So
I think we still need to grill him on some of these at some point.
We do.
I really think so.
If you want to leave a mailbag, you can do it on our website, AAAPodcast.com. After you're finished supporting the show, you can also leave a mailbag, which is free. So, it's AAAPodcast.com/mailbag. So head over there. Hey, AAA, having super long MALs or Annie lists are definitely a huge point of pride in the anime watching community. It really shouldn't be.
I don't even have mine.
Stupid. But I think it is fair to say we all have at least one show from our respective lists. For whatever reason, it may be the length of the show, how dated the animation looks, or any other reason. It seems everyone has at least one show that other people cannot believe you haven't seen, despite how good the show is, even if you blah, 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 blah. For me, it's Berserk. So I want to know... Well, he hasn't watched Berserk. It's a mistake. I want to know, what is that show for you? Pancake.
First off, Berserk, what the heck? Like, you must get on that, or at least go read the manga.
She's gonna whoop. She's gonna stomp them nuts.
Just go read the manga. It is amazing. But for me, that would obviously be One Piece. I have not watched it. One, because it's super long. And two, it's ugly booty hole as far as animation goes.
I don't think it's unbelievable that you haven't seen One Piece. It's 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, but especially in our community, like a ton of people, like Lady Emery herself, most people have seen it. I guess it's huge.
At least some of it.
However, I have been reading the manga off and on.
So you have seen some of it.
But I've been reading it. It's different than seeing it. I think.
Whatever.
But maybe this will change with the One Piece coming out because I did enjoy the live action.
How about you?
And
Emery?
I'm hoping that you'll like give it a chance too because of the remake going on, because they will shorten and condense.
Yeah,
it,
that's
and
what
maybe
I'm
it'll
hoping.
look better for you.
Yeah,
that's okay. For me, I also haven't seen Berserk, so maybe with the manga exchange, I will read it, or eventually I'll see it. I promise. I promise I'll add it to the list.
It is a travesty.
Casca, best
The
girl.
The one that I get the most gasping around, though, is Kage-sama Love is War. I have read the manga all the way through to the end. I've never seen it. I understand the memes. I've seen the GIFs, but I've just never watched it.
It's just so long.
It's just... I've seen a season of it, and it's just... I'm not into slapstick, and that's what it felt like to me, so I'm not going to shame you for not seeing that.
Listen, Kaguya-sama Love is War, I know people love it. It's fine. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad, but, like, that's a perfect example of a show that didn't need to be 3 or 4 seasons. Every fucking anime is 3 or 4 seasons now. It literally was, like, 40 episodes of one-shot, like, filler, basically, I mean, for the most part, gags. And then they eventually got around to some of the romance, or so I'm told. I kind of gave up, but, like, I mean, it didn't need to be that long. I don't know, whatever.
So I won't shame you for that one.
For me, it's Full Metal Alchemist. I haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist or Brotherhood.
What?
So
They're gonna come for you.
It is a travesty.
At least watch Brotherhood, because Brotherhood is way better than Full Metal Alchemist.
I was surrounded by the suck.
It doesn't suck. You need to go...
That's referring to myself.
Yeah, you need to watch Brotherhood. Brotherhood is one of the best anime out there.
Okay.
It'll make you
so
feel
I will
feelings.
shame you for that.
Man, I have a million anime you haven't seen in a binder right behind us.
We'll work on them.
You want to?
Yeah.
All right. It's time for impressions.
Today, we're going to be doing impressions.
Impression time! Believe it!
All right.
Believe it.
Believe it. I have a drop for that.
Believe it!
There you go.
Nails on a chalkboard every time.
Oh, really?
Believe it!
It's so bad.
Okay. We interviewed that lady, Miley Flanagan. That's who does his voice. So our new system, it's really the same as before. It's just that now we're going to each decide if we're passing or failing. And then really in this case, there's 3 of us. So whichever one has, well, there will be no indecision. So one will fail. What anime will fail and anime will pass? So far we have passed Mecha-ude, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, and Blue Box. So we're going to start with Negative Positive Angler.
and it is an original anime. It is from Studio Nut on My Face.
Nut on my face.
Director Yutake Yumura,
Cool.
and it's available on Crunchyroll. It's about sad boy, has lots of medical bills, and is running away from debt collectors and finds fishing.
Yay.
That's basically the
Yay,
gist of it.
fishing.
We watched the first couple episodes, and I gotta say, I was pretty disappointed with it. The fish look like ass. I was hoping for a fun little fishing romp. That's not what we got. We got convenience store workers with CGI fish, and
Was the fish CGI?
yeah.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The best part of that show was the backgrounds. The backgrounds actually were detailed and nice, and I don't even know if I wanted to